What's up, everybody? Rosso the Rosso Reviews here, and today's Tinfoil Tuesday. So grab your tinfoil and let's break this one down. What's up, everybody? Today's Tinfoil Tuesday is going to focus on Howland Reed and who he is, where he could be, and how I think he's going to show up in next season. If you don't know who Howland Reed is, Mira and Jojen that have been hanging out with Bran for the past couple seasons, that's their dad. And if you also don't know who he is, he's this guy from the Tower of Joy scene. And, as you know from that scene, spoiler alert, in case you haven't, he saves Ned from Arthur Dayne, allows Ned to defeat him by stabbing him in the back, wounding him, and then, he can go up and, again, spoiler alert, rescue his sister. A lot of people think that in Season 7, Bran's going to come across the wall and, make it down to Winterfell and tell Jon that he is the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna, and he's not actually Ned's son. I think that's extremely unlikely, and I'll get more into that specific theory in another video, and I'll link it in the annotations somewhere around here when that video actually gets made. I think it's actually going to be Howland Reed's place instead of Bran, because he's already on this side of the wall. We have yet to actually see him aside from that one flashback. He was Ned's most trusted companion coming back from Robert's Rebellion. So for him to not be around in times of, the Northern Rebellion with Robb Stark, for him not to be around, for the Battle of Winterfell to help, Jon and Sansa take back Winterfell from the Boltons, I think that means that they're going to do something big with him. I think that's what makes him the strongest candidate to come back and make an appearance in Season 7 and be the catalyst for Jon to find out that he's actually, the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna. Let's think back to, at the end of last season, at the Battle of Winterfell. After the battle, Jon tells his men, hey, bury Rickon down with my father. So if you haven't read the books, in A Dance with Dragons, Theon is actually down in the crypts with Lady Dustin, who her husband was at the Tower of Joy with Ned and actually died there, as we established, that Ned and Howland were the only survivors. Now, she's really mad that Ned did not bring Sir Dustin's bones, or Lord Dustin's bones, back. She basically says, if it was up to me, Ned's bones would never rest in Winterfell again. So let's think back to, for your show watchers, Season 2, where Tyrion sent Littlefinger with Ned's bones to Catelyn Stark as a start of a peace offering to try to quiet down the Northern Rebellion and try to take care of it diplomatically. So my theory is that the riders on their journey to Winterfell actually stopped at Greywater Watch, and were there when they were there. Howland Reed may have had a hunch that, okay, let's keep these here for a little bit. Let me make sure that these are. Let's wait till the war is over and make sure that these get back the right way. And now that the Starks hold Winterfell, he will personally deliver them back to Winterfell. So Ned's bones can rest once more at Winterfell. So in my mind, here's how the scene's going to go. Jon, as we know from this picture here, he's already in the crypts, and he's probably, maybe, let's say, they go to bury Rickon down there, they find out Ned's not down there, and they're just like, hey, Jon, he's not there. So Jon goes down into the crypts, and then she's like, oh, Ned isn't here. And then, there's, whether it's the same episode or next episode, some riders come, and they're like, hey, we're actually the Reeds men, and this is Howland, he wants to speak to Jon. Tells him, hey, I've been holding Ned's bones, and, let's finally put him away. And Jon, there's actually something I'm supposed to tell you now that I know Ned is dead. And that's when he tells him, Jon, you're the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, and you have a large role to play in the battle for the Dawn. Because a lot of people think that because Jojen was a Green Seer, that Howland Reed has some mystical property to him. And in the books, they do allude to stuff like that. Like in the books, Greywater Watch is actually like a floating castle that has some cloaking ability and stuff like that. So it's a really hard spot to find. I know the TV series tries to steer away from stuff like that. but I think overall, Howland Reed might know something. A lot of people think he's actually at the God's Eye, where the pact with the First Men was, was first taken care of and settled, and all that. So I really think that Howland Reed, due to the key events he witnessed, and him being out of the show for so long, he's got to come back, and now would be a perfect time and a perfect opportunity to introduce him and to give John that big revelation. And then, because John doesn't know him, it'll actually cast just enough doubt that he won't really believe it, and then that will also leave the room for Bran to be able to come in and be like, no, John, he's right, and you will have to fight the Night King. It's your destiny. You are the prince that was promised, or whatever, however they want to choose to do that. I know there's a lot of people have been talking about that Gilly's actually reading a page about Azor Ahai and the Long Night. So I don't know if they want to take that destiny route, or it just happens, the task just happens to be bestowed upon him. However they want to take that arc. But anyway, guys, this has been Tinfoil Tuesday. And I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, just hit that like button. Tell me down in the comments, am I full of shit, or do you think I have some good points here and all of that? I want to try to do this maybe every week or bi-weekly, because and not just with Game of Thrones, but with Star Wars and Marvel and all these different things. I might expand the series out and maybe do some other things with it, but we'll see what happens. But the biggest thing is just let me know if you like this content. By hitting that like, hitting that subscribe button, and then we'll keep making content and keep putting out content. That way I know you guys like it. I enjoy doing this a lot, and I just want to thank you guys for all the viewers that I've had so far and all the subscribers I've had so far. I can't wait to see that number keep growing and all that stuff. And without further ado, Rosso signing off.